Hey everybody, it's Taki117 back with Taki Space Program, and we're doing another historic mission today. Now, of course, this is a rocket design that I've not used in a while, and it's not the actual rocket used in the historic mission, but we are going to recreate the outcome of the SYNCOM 2 mission, which is the first geosynchronous satellite. Now, geosynchronous is not geostationary. Geostationary means it remains in the same point on the surface of the Earth at the same, or all the time. Geosynchronous means it will pass over the same point on the surface at the same time every day. The reason this is geosynchronous and not geostationary is because it's actually inclined. So, we actually have a contract for this, where we have to achieve orbit with an eccentricity below 0.005, which means it needs to be circular, and it has to have a period between 5 hours 57 minutes and 6 hours 1 minute, because that's roughly the period for stock size Kerbin, or rather stock size Earth, which is one of the mods I'm using. The altitude that we're going to be shooting for our apoapsis is 2,863.33 kilometers, and that will give us about that period. Again, these numbers are different for the actual sized Earth, but you get the general idea. So here we go. We're launching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. And we have I've actually added some fuel lines, so this center stack isn't draining at all yet. I'm just going to go ahead and execute that roll maneuver so we can get it out of the way as we clear the tower here. We are ascending quite nicely, actually. Let's zoom out a little bit so you get a nice view of the rocket here. I did make my nav ball a little bigger. I know I mentioned last episode, or maybe the episode before that, that I was going to adjust my sizes a little bit. I did that mainly so I could read it. It was really tiny there for a little bit. Let's see, 60, 70 meters a second, so we're going to go ahead and start pitching over. Something else I've noticed with the stock-sized real solar system is that my Kerbal Space Center is not quite where the actual Kennedy Space Center is, and that's a combination of things. Again, we shrunk the Earth down, but also islands aren't really modeled all that well. As you can see, there's this giant lump here where the Kerbal Space Center sits, and that's just kind of a necessity more than anything. I noticed this because there's an airstrip here, and I'm not entirely sure what that airstrip is. So if any of you Florida residents recognize this map that I'm using, or this texture, go ahead and leave a comment and tell me where we are, so that I know exactly where I'm launching from. Beautiful ascent here, though. Again, adjusting my pitch angle with the smart assist. I'm not entirely sure what the ASS stands for, but it's the smart ASS system. Let's go down to 60 degrees. Now when I drop these boosters, they will continue on a parabolic arc and fall in the ocean somewhere. At some point, I should probably put parachutes on them. Now I can just go to surface velocity positive, and that will bring me down a little bit of wobble there. And that is primarily because I do have these fins on here, these winglets. So there goes my booster engines. Go ahead and ditch those. Maybe I won't put parachutes on there if they're just going to fall apart like that. Let's go ahead and start pitching down a little bit more. Now, like I said, I am going to about 2,900 kilometers. So I'm going to make use of the Oberth effect, and what that means is instead of going into like 100-kilometer orbit and then boosting my apoapsis or my periapsis, I'm just going to keep burning my rocket until my apoapsis gets where I want it, and then I'm just going to circularize there. So here we go, we are coming down quite nicely actually. Beautiful rocket. You can see that bump I was talking about earlier. Now, the main reason I built this rocket the way I did was I had the parts left over. I had the lifter already built. It's just a matter of building the payload. And I'm not worried about inclination here at all, because it's not part of my contract. However, SYNCOM 3, which was launched in 1964, is the first geostationary satellite. SYNCOM 2 was launched a year earlier in 1963, and was the first geosynchronous satellite. Now, some other interesting facts about SYNCOM 2 is it's the first time that two heads of state have talked to each other by satellite, specifically President John F. Kennedy and the Nigerian Prime Minister, whose name I can't even hope to pronounce, I apologize. Okay, we are going to zero out my pitch. And this is what I was talking about with the Oberth effect. See, I'm at 30-ish kilometers. Ooh, this is not good. My time to apoapsis is dropping. Let's see. There we go. Let's turn that off for a moment. There we go. Okay, so now our time to apoapsis is increasing again. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using the lift from the rocket to help keep me on course. My nose cone is getting a little warm there. But that's why I have the fairing, is to help protect the rocket itself. It helps protect my payload to keep it nice and safe. I do have plenty of delta V. I'm not worried about that at all. I am worried about my temperature though. Not sure if it's dropping yet. I hope it starts dropping here soon, or my fairing is going to explode. And that's ooh, this is not good. Starting to cook my fairing. Ooh, something just exploded. Something exploded that was not my fairing. Did I just... oh dear. I've lost my my interplanetary antenna. Oh no. It should be high enough so I can go orbit prograde now and I don't have to worry about overheating. That's unfortunate. I was going to use this as an interplanetary relay satellite in addition to its other functions. However, this does use the updated microsat satellite configuration. So I will at least be able to test that aspect of it. So it seems there's a little bit of a gap in the collision mesh of this fairing. Let's see, we are at 1 megameters. I need to be at 2.6 megameters. Two point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2.7. That works. I still have plenty of delta V left over, but I don't need it. Let's see, I'm going to circularize at an altitude of, let's see, 2863.33 kilometers. Create that node. Oh, I'm not high enough. Oops. There we go. 524 meters a second. Wonderful. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and drop my second stage here. Oop, something. There we go. Drop that booster stage, and here you can see my microsatellite sitting on top there. It's got RCS for attitude control. I added a lot more storage and a lot more power generation. Unfortunately, it's missing my interplanetary antenna that was supposed to be up here, because that particular piece burned up on ascent. Beautiful fairing separation though, I love that. There's the other one. Alright, so we are now going to execute that node. Oh, and I also put reaction wheels in there. Ooh, I do not want to auto warp. Not yet, anyway. Because there is an antenna on here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. I want to activate that. That gives me a 1 megameter range. Now, what that does is it's actually going to try and bounce off of other satellites. So I don't need to go back to the surface, I just need to go to another satellite. There we go, now we can auto warp. It's going to go out. The actual SYNCOM-2 satellite looked very different from this. It weighed about 50 pounds. And was about 30 inches in diameter, about 15 inches tall, and had an orbital mass of 86 kilograms with or 86 pounds rather, with a 55-pound payload. This obviously looks very different. I am using monopropellant engines, so I will be drawing potentially from my small tanks there. But I do have more than enough delta V to accomplish this burn. So we are about 16 seconds. It's about a 16-second burn. We are about 10 seconds from engine ignition of our second stage. And my biggest concern is this orbital period. Right now it's about 3 hours. It needs to be about 6. With an eccentricity less than 0.005. So the closer I can get my eccentricity to 0... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't have a connection. Activate my large antenna there. That is rather unfortunate. See, there's four tiny engines and the one big one there in the middle. Just circularizing our orbit, and you can see our orbital period going up considerably, as is our periapsis. And our eccentricity is dropping, which is good. I actually really like this thruster pack. This is the Agena thruster pack. They're the Agena flight pack from the FASA mod. FASA is unfortunately currently defunct as far as I'm aware in the current version of Kerbal Space Program, which is another reason that I'm using an older version, so that I know all of my mods work. And yes, they have bugs and they have various other interactions, but it's not a big deal. I can live with those. Am I within? I am. The contract is complete. So I'm just going to leave it like that. No real point in doing anything with it. Oh, there's Mercury over there. And saw Saturn and Neptune earlier. Nice shot of the Earth. So I'm going to leave it there. I do actually have a Mars communication satellite that is ready to build. So we're going to go ahead and get that ready. Head to our launch window, launch it, and then send it off to Mars. So hopefully all goes well. There's Uranus, Jupiter, it's like one of the moons, Callisto there, yeah. Ganymede, Callisto. I really should get a telescope out there. Actually, let's go ahead and switch to our space telescope. Here we are at our space telescope. It seems to be doing pretty good, actually. I'm a little surprised. Let's toggle the GUI. Ooh. Alright. Let's point it at Jupiter. So in order to do that, the best way to do that is to actually set Jupiter. Oh, it is our target. Alright, cool. It's already our target, so we're going to go target positive. So that we do end up pointing towards the planet. Can I activate that without issue? I can. Let's open. Nope, I do not want to open the bay. Oh dear, that's not good. There's supposed to be something in there, and there's not. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll have to send a repair group, possibly. Yeah, maybe. Let's see, let's point that at Earth, so I maintain communication. Let's point this one at the Moon. All the places I can point to. Let's point that at the Moon, so that it acts as a relay. Since we're having some issues there. Yeah, there's Jupiter. This makes me sad. Yeah, processor not installed. Optics module cannot function without an image processor. So because there's nothing in this little bay, this telescope doesn't work anymore. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm just going to have to put another one up there. Bigger one, better one. Make it work. So, pretty sure I have a contract for that, actually. But anyway, until next time, I'm Taki117, and remember, it's only rocket science.